In the first video, we discussed on how to use the cowries after you pray, or how to use the cowries for divination. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the secret behind it, what you need to do so that anytime you pray, your ancestors can hear you when you ask questions. When you do prayers, you need to do a divination to find out whatever you've prayed about, if the universe, if your ancestors, if God have heard it. That is why it is advisable that when you pray, you do a divination. Yes, our ancestors use the cowrie shells to do a divination in their prayers. And that is why we, the modern generation, also need to use the same path. We have to pass on to our generation. So if you and our ancestors, when they were doing the divination, they initiate them. Yes, we call something initiation. When they initiate you into the cowries reading, anytime you do a reading, or anytime you pray, and you ask if what you've requested or if what you've prayed about have been heard, you need to use the divination system with the cowries. And in the previous video, we talked about the 4 simple cowries reading. So when, for instance, if you have a deity or energy that you've already been initiated into, and you are using the cowries, it is easy for you to have understanding of what you've prayed about, or what is ahead, or what is about to happen to you. But if you just have your ancestral altar and you don't have any energy, you don't have any spirit that is backing you up, you have a little problem when you do the reading, because you're not going to hear anything. You just throw the cowries and there will not be any magnetism attached to it. So when you do the divination, you find that any question that you ask, you are going to have the same answer. If it is yes, when you throw, it's only yes that you are going to hear, and it will confuse you. So if you have an elderly person in their family who is close to the ancestral stool, that elder person needs to initiate you into the cowries, so that when you pray, you have easy understanding of you communicating with your ancestors or God or any spirit that you have. So it is not just that you have the cowries and that you usually need to pray. No, you need to be initiated into the cowries. It can either be a priest, a pastor, whoever, and have the knowledge of divination system in African spirituality. So the simple method is to find elderly person in your family if you only have the ancestral altar, because anybody that have a spirit or deity that he's worshiping or is backing that person, he has already been initiated into the energy. So when he's using the cowries to do a reading, he will understand it. But here, like the case, you are a beginner, and you have your altar. It's either your pastor, your Buddha, your priest can initiate you into the cowries, so that when you do a prayer, you can communicate with your ancestors. So when you have that initiation in your body, it becomes a magnet between you and the spirit world. That is why it is necessary or important for you to get initiation, so that anytime you do a reading, you have the frequencies on you. When you do a reading, you have the understanding of what you've done and the answers. So in the next video, or if you've not watched the first video, you can watch it at the top there, or you can just click on the link and watch the cowries divination secrets. Then you follow with this video so that you understand what the whole thing is about. So anytime you create an altar, or you want to communicate with your ancestors or your spirit world or the spirit world, then you need to be initiated into the cowries, so that when you do a reading, you have a good understanding. Thank you.